Good evening. Welcome. My name is Obendako. Welcome. I want to share with you. Um, Persist as an entrepreneur and don't be talked out of your dream of owning a company or companies. Persist as an entrepreneur and don't be talked out of your dream. Persist. Persist. Human beings are, in a way, the product of our culture. In a way, we are a product of our environment. And if you look at the kind of country we come from, the kind of environment that we live, um, if you happen to have gone to school, um, you've been conditioned to hail job, to praise job, to be mesmerized with jobs and job seeking, and to be infatuated with jobs. And so, some of us who were a bit wayward and we wanted to, we had a desire to just own some company or own a business. Um, Persistently, perpetually, we were always faced with some kind of is it an English word, insinuation, we were always seen as awkward in the kind of environment that we live in, especially if you happen to have had what they call school. If you happen to have gone to college or university, if you happen to have had some kind of profession, everybody wants you to look up to or becoming, employed in some organization. If you go out, I remember the time that we started. If you go out and you meet some of your friends, the first question that they ask you, so Charlie, where you there? Where are you? Where you there means where do you work? And we were supposed to have an answer to that. So where do you work? Where you there? And some of them will be rolling their key. They have nice car, and you say you want to start a business. You don't even know what you're doing. You're confused. You don't know where to move. And so we're coming from this kind of environment where we've been told to wait for help. We've been told to wait for help. And then some of the statements that you will hear from people, you'll be fascinated. They will fascinate you. They don't mean much to you if you have a job somewhere, and there's nothing wrong with having a job. I'm not saying that having a job is wrong, but I'm just saying that the infatuation is too much. The attention and the importance that we attach to it. I think that the Ghanaian culture, for those who have gone to school, is only job driven. Seek job, look for a place to work. And if you don't have a place to work, or when you don't have a job, it means that you are useless. You are a disappointed being, because you don't have somebody to give you a job. And so that's the kind of environment that we live in. And when I remember when we were trying to do something for ourselves, friends and family people will just ask you, so when are you going to go? When are you going to look for work? When are you going to get a job? When are you going to, and sometimes people who even happen to have some job somewhere and who decide to say go and try an idea in business, almost everyone is waiting for you to stop the business and go back and say that I couldn't do it. I don't hear people being told that you are in school and they say that your parents or your friends or the people around you will say that, when are you going to stop this school and go to start a business? Or when are you going to stop this? When are you going to stop traveling and go and start a business? Or when are you, the opposite is always, when are you going to stop this kind of thing that you are saying you are building business and go and look for job? Or when are you going to stop this thing you are saying and go and go and do and go to school, go and get masters or PhD? Things like that. So that's the kind of environment that we live in, and it's awkward for people who start to think of owning business, especially if you have some kind of certificate. Why? It's because everything is almost opposite to what is normal. That is why they say that it's that tough for it's not cut for everybody to become an entrepreneur. It's not cut. That's what they say. It's not cut for everybody. But my question is then, is it cut for everybody to become? Obviously, it's not cut for everybody to become a doctor. It's not cut for everybody to become a politician. It's not cut for everybody to become a pastor or a scientist or an engineer or, anything. So nothing is cut for everybody. So, if nothing is cut for everybody, then everybody is not cut for anything. So condition yourself that if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a business person, or if you happen to even have a job and you're thinking of starting a business, you're going to meet a lot of awkward confrontations, awkward interactions from people that that were so much respectful. Let's say you are in a bank, you work as a bank manager, and then you just sit there thinking you want to start a business. So one day you tender in your resignation letter and say that, okay, I want to start a business. The moment you say that you're going to start a business, you have become an enemy to many of your friends, many of the people who look up to some of these things. Many people will just say that this guy is mad, this guy is crazy, this guy does not know what he's about. I remember somebody told me, so you're not going to use all the education that you had? As if when you are doing business, you don't read book, you don't write. So our culture, if you happen to have gone to school, nobody expects you to go independent, to go private, so to say. They expect you to go and look for, become a chief engineer, become a manager, a bank manager, become something that everybody, become a director at the ministries, become something that your parents can be proud of, because your parents cannot tell their colleagues that and son, he's not a professor. He said that he wants to start a business. They're not going to be proud of it. Okay, your friends, your family, the people who know you would for a very long time think that you are out of your mind. You are out of your mind. Now, there are also a lot of us who don't even get a job. Don't get a job at all. Yet you are there, you are not getting a job, or they say go and continue to look for a job. Then when you happen to say that I want to start my own business, to the same people will tell you that why you can't find anything to do than to start a business. After all the school that we have sent you to, is this what you want to do with your life? But there's something about business that I want to tell you. There's something about it that I want to tell you. Those who go to school, you will struggle with your decision to start a business permanently. As a matter of fact, they will be still looking for you after even 20 years. Even when you're successful, they will still be looking for you to stop it and go and look for a place where they will give you salary and give you very nice title and give you Land Cruiser, give you official car, give you official accommodation, send your children to very good school. A lot of people will still be looking up to that, because most people think that you should fail as a business, because all the stories that they hear, all the stories that people hear about people who have gone out to start business is failure. And so most people are not attracted to it, especially the intelligent ones, those who happen to have some MBA, those kind of boys. They have so much data and very little practical wisdom, practical information, that they are the ones talking all of us out of our vision. So don't let anybody talk out of your dream to own a company. If you happen to be an entrepreneur, persist. If you happen to say that your desire is to own a business, persist. Because you're going to hear a lot of people, because they are more than us. That's the fact. I'm not talking of people who don't have any other option but just to do something for themselves. So let's say he dropped out of school at the JSS level and he says that he wants to be a farmer, or he wants to become a mechanic, master, or a seamstress. They are not looking to go and work in a bank or become a lawyer or become a doctor or things like that. Their part is a bit cut for them. Now, if you happen to be a classmate of some of these guys who have become lawyers and doctors and engineers and bank managers and things like that, if you decide to start a business, okay, that group, they seem to be, they believe that they have that much power to talk you out of your dream. the people that you were working with, and you decided to say that, no, I want to start a business. Those people, after even 10 years, they still are calling you to say that, oh, you know, there's an offer somewhere. If I was thinking if you'd be interested. Even if your business has employed 10 people, 100 people, they will still be thinking that you should be failing, because all the stories that they have heard is what? People failing. And so I'm talking about persist as an entrepreneur, and don't be talked out of your dream. Because one of the things that is very unique with people who own business is that it opens doors to your freedom, to fulfillment in life. You become passionate and purposeful than most people will ever dream of having. Even when the business is struggling, I can tell you, there is that sense of freedom, there is that sense of fulfillment, there's that sense of purpose, and there's that sense of passion when you decide to own a business and you decide to build a business. That the people who are talking you out of that dream don't know that. Majority of them don't know that. At the core of their core, okay, when you meet them and they are being frantic and they are being honest with you, they feel cagey, they feel desperate, they feel like their life is weird, you know. Majority of them, not everybody, majority of them. And that's why they are desperate to talk you out of your dream. And most of them cannot withstand the kind of confidence, the kind of courage that you have to have for you to say, I'm going to build my business. I'm just going to do it. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it takes. You know, you can be in this thing that they call entrepreneurship for years and you may not even see any success. And that is so much suffocating for a lot of people. But if you're cut for it, if you built the content, if you have built the content for it, then whatever those people say will never get you out of your dream. I remember there was a time somebody told somebody I know that, why don't you go and just go back and look for a place to work? I said, no, but what I'm doing, I started with 1 and it has become 5, it has become 10. What makes you think that I should go back? Because they still think that when you start a business, you know, it's just like you receiving salary, because very, very few people can even put the numbers together. The business revenue, they try to, a lot of people even call to say that, you know, I have a job, I'm receiving 2,000, but do you think that if I start a business I can get? How can you compare the business revenue with salary? But that's the kind of exposure majority of our people have. Majority of our people are just job. Those who went to school especially, it's just job. And even those who didn't go to school, they still have that respect. If I went outside with my friend who is a managing director of another company, and I told her, and he gives out his card and he says that, oh, I'm a branch manager of this bank, and I also say that, oh, I am a private person. Do you see the kind of respect they give to my friend? It's very huge. For me, they think that I'm just confused. I don't know what to do. That's why I'm saying that I'm doing business, because it means that I'm unemployed. Nobody will employ me, so I'm lazy. That is the kind of psyche that we have in our culture at the moment. And majority of the people may not even be conscious of it because they are part of the same pressure. And so when you have a dream to build a business, when you have a dream to pursue, and you happen to have had some what they call education, it's going to be tough for you. Very difficult. Very much difficult for you to keep constantly trying to explain yourself to most of these people. My strategy is that don't explain yourself to a lot of these people. Don't explain yourself. Focus on your dream. Persist with what you want to do. Become better with the business that you're building. Don't worry so much about it because you cannot explain it to them. Can they explain what they do to you for you to understand? No. So what do you expect them to agree and accept the fact that you're doing something? Sometimes your mother may never accept it. They will still think, even when they are old, they will still be praying for you that God will help you to find a job, you know, because you are confused, even if you are paying a lot of people. That's the reality of entrepreneurship, you know, and in a part of the world, that's it. And so, my name is Kwabena. I am talking about persist as an entrepreneur and don't be talked out of your dream in owning the companies that you want to own, in having you know, the businesses that you want to own. So most of the people don't develop the content required to withstand the pressure that comes. And so some of them will even give you scenarios where they themselves started some things that they didn't, they didn't succeed, and why they think that you will not succeed. And those are the most dangerous ones. They tried it, and they thought that if you try it once and it doesn't work, it means that it will never work. It's because their content was low, because they were impatient, so they tried for 2 years, it didn't work. They went back to look for job. They are more cynical than those who have never tried anything, because they seem to have some kind of knowledge about what the little that it takes for people to become successful. So because they did not build themselves up to constantly go and build the skills and the expertise needed to get something idea become a business, they stop halfway, and so they will be the ones who will be telling you how to give up and just go and find something better to do with your life, because they will tell you that, I tried and it didn't work. Now I have a job, I have a car, and you may be in the middle of a lot of confusion and a lot of problems, and their advice may